I am. How dry I am. How dry I am. How dry I am. Okay, so that's a good intro to what's going on right now. This episode is a completely episode that I just came off the head with because I was inspired by a YouTuber that I really like watching right now, and his name is Jay Williams. He has a great page called Living Life, and he did something recently called the Drunken Chronicles. He also has a separate page where he talks about some of his prison and jail experiences as he had lived a gangster life due to some of these drunken chronicles. But I watched it and he was really being open about like the mistakes he made from drinking. And I was like, you know what, this is a PSA. So Jay Williams, you sir inspired today's Cat Poo Crazy episode 16, White Boy Wasted, a PSA. Let's get into it. Now, if you don't know, I have been known to have a drink or two. In my time, my father was a police officer, so it is genetic to drink my pain away. He's also old and African American, so we don't really discuss feelings. We just drink it away and act like nothing happened. Anyway, so I was looking at it and he was so open about his story. I was like, you know what, Carl? Don't be embarrassed. It's a good piece of information for somebody young out there, somebody old out there, whoever it is, to let them know, hey man, that drinking thing crazy, it ain't so cool, bro. And I'm gonna tell you the times that I don't know how I'm still alive today. And I'm gonna tell you these stories and you're gonna be like, God must be watching this dude. I have no idea why I'm sick. But like Jay and several of them say, there must be a purpose. So let's get that purpose. And let's get into episode number 16. Now this episode, let me talk about the premise. The premise of this is that I am a functioning alcoholic in my free time, even though I'm a very good man. I'm more of a drunk. I'm not going to those damn meetings. Anyway, I love to party. I love to have a good time. And I'm not one of those guys that when I drink, I go out and get in trouble. No, no, no. Unlike my guy Jay, who's what I call the club closer friend, because I've had several friends like Jay. Love the guy, love to hang with him, but every time I go to a club with him, I'm pulling this dude off of somebody or helping him finish something up. Let's leave it at that. So I know it's like me, I am the happy drunk. I'm the happy. There's no fighting, there's no arguing, there's no disrespecting women with me. I'm just happy. I'm dancing, I'm like the chick in the video with the car, she dances, ooch, 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 ooch. In the Scion commercial, that's me. All the time, I'll be out ripped. I dance so hard and have so much fun when I get tore up, my body is sore the next day from partying. So I get wild, but I'm not dangerous. But I have a different spin on my man Jay, because he's what I call a gangster drinker. I'm a lover drinker. But either way, we get torn up and sometimes we may even black out if you mix other things like allergy pills. I'm from Philly. Bill Cosby issues. I'm also living in LA. Edibles, green edibles, and alcohol. Same difference. Never, ever, ever mix one chemical with another chemical in mass. You're going to have blank spots. You're going to have things happen to you you don't remember. And I'm going to tell you several stories in this episode number 16. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 informative PSA stories about things that happened to me. And a final last lesson I learned this New Year's Eve about, hey man, it's okay to have a little fun, but don't take it so far because it could possibly cost not only your life, but the lives of others. So let's get into White Boy Wasted, episode number 16, a PSA. So, the first story I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna go back to the beginning. We're gonna go back, way back to when brothers used to listen to Wu-Tang Clan and rolled their first Philly blunts. 1998. So I'm in Hampton, Virginia. Actually, in Jay's state. I'm in Hampton, Virginia, Jay. I was in Hampton, Virginia back when I first started drinking. I went to Hampton University from 93 to 2000. And right around 1998, I waited until I was 21 years old before I did drink. I smoked weed when I was 19 to 20, but I did not drink until I was 21 years old. I'm a cop's kid and I wanted to do it the right way. So I never drank until I was 21 years old. But man, oh man, my 21st birthday was my first time ever drinking. I'm in Hampton, Virginia. I'm in a place in 1998-7 called the Hampton Harbors, which is an apartment complex across the street from Hampton University, where a lot of off-campus kids lived. We all lived out there. We all hang out. We had friends all over the complex. So you basically could go run to different apartments all over the complex. I'm talking hundreds of apartments and you knew everybody in it. So you could just run into somebody's house and just have fun, right? So I used to hang out with my Philly guys. My guy Nate Crossan, Scott Beach, who actually has a great comic out right now called Cronus. If you're into comics, check out Cronus. C-R-O-N-U-S. It's a new comic, African-American comic by a black man about a great black hero. Check out Cronus if you're really into comics. My man Scott Beach is nailing it out. I was at their house. We had a bottle of Southern Comfort. And we played a game called the Beer Biatch and whatnot. Now, I don't know if you know what the Beer Biatch is, but the Beer Biatch is the person that when they play this game, anytime you do something wrong, you fail in the game, you either have to drink yourself and you also have to like go get people other drinks and do stuff like roll L's and all that, right? You're basically the punk. But the concept is the more you lose, the drunker you get. So I'm playing the game and I'm trying to play not to get drunk, but after a while, it's my first time drinking, right? So after the 4, 5, 6 shots of Southern Comfort, I get so into the damn game. My stupid ass, I start stealing other people's shots. They don't even want it. I'm like, I got it for you. I ended up that night taking 15 shots of Southern Comfort. 15. My very first night drinking. Oh my God. I was trashed. I had blank spot memories all night. I literally partied at my friend's house. Eventually, I got so drunk, I could not stay in the house. Oh no, there was no way I'm staying in this apartment. I got to go outside. So I go outside into the apartment complex and I am wilding, cutting up with people, hanging out with my friends, walking around talking drunk. I would see some of my old heads. They were like, yo, Carl, you out here ripped, man. What's going on? And I was like, yeah, what's all good? Yo, I literally dove in the grass like a swimming pool. So there was a plot of grass on the ground in the parking lot. So you know the parking lot has got all those little islands. One of those little islands had grass on it. I'm hammered, bro. I'm just having so much fun. And I saw the grass and I looked at it and I literally ran and dove and slid chest first in the grass like I scored a goal. It was like, goal! Like, I can't do it like the guy that screams goal, but that's how I was. Face first in the grass, sliding on my chest, hammered. The next day, right, I get so blasted, I barely remember half the stuff I did, but I was running all around the complex, going to my friend's house over here, going to the person over here, messing with the girl. I was out of control. And I had my first experience of next day. Wait, I didn't. What? It's like, you know, I do kind of remember that. Oh yeah, I do remember the grass slide. That was fun. But Oh yeah, I did talk to you in the car. I remember you saying that. You know, my first time getting the next day, dude, you were wildin'. And I was like, oh my God. First of all, I'm glad I didn't get arrested. Glad I didn't get in trouble. But that was the first time I ever got drunk at Hampton University. Let's get into our second drunken story on White Boy Wasted, episode 16, a PSA. Be responsible. Do not curse, bro. Story number 2. Let's get it in. So this particular story is another one. And this is when I was coming from VA back to home to Philly on vacation. You know, Christmas, holidays, summertime, occasional, sometimes random for certain family events. But basically, once I turned 21, not only am I coming home to Philly to deal with my mom, I'm going out to the club, baby, right? So of course, being cheap and young, I developed a whole process, a whole scam. Okay, so it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to get drunk after I drink the alcohol. And it takes me 20 to 30 minutes to drive to the club. So what math do you do? Okay, instead of going to the club and paying $100 to get drunk, I'm gonna just buy a 40 of what's called Ing Bing, 8-ball. White people call it Old English 800. Yes, a 40 of that. I buy it from the store, $5-6, get in the car, and just for legal reasons, I've never done any of these things. I am merely telling a fantastical story that seems to be extremely accurate. But I have never done any of these things for legal purposes. For the entire video, we like to put a disclaimer. Cat Poop Crazy Pearl does not authorize DUIs, driving under the influence, or any alcoholic transitions which may be illegal, especially if I can still be prosecuted. Excellent. So just to get that clear first. So, fantastical Carl gets a 40, drives to the club. Of course, I bang the joint while I'm driving because you don't really get drunk while you're drinking it. It's after you're finished that the 40 does its work, right? By the time I'm finishing, park the car, finishing off the last thing, let's go to the club, right? So I step my little butt up to the club. Of course, I'm on my J. Williams. How dry, just white boy wasted. And guess what? I didn't even know I was white boy wasted. I thought I was just a real dude, a soul brother getting hammered. No, apparently I was white boy wasted before I knew what white boy wasted was. So that's a whole nother story. So I'm hammered. They let me in the club. I dance for hours because I'm not one of those fighter types when I get drunk. I'm a lover. I have fun. I dance. I kick with the homies. I'm cool with any dude I rock with. If you cool, I'm cool. Unless you pop, nothing happens with me. You know what I'm saying? But don't get your chin checked. Side note. Anyway, I'm having fun. I finally leave the club. 2 a.m. You're stumbling out. You're stumbling out hammered. Ready to go home. For some reason, about to get back in the car. Whatever that's about, right? We have other stories about those. And guess what? I can't find the car. This is back in the cell phone era, in early, late 90s, 2000s, where everybody didn't have a cell phone yet. And I'm some stubborn idiot. I didn't think I needed it. And then my friends was like, yo, dude, we can never connect with you. So this was the first time I realized, dude, I need a cell phone. So I come out the place, can't find the car for 30 to 40 minutes. I'm walking around, and this is downtown Philly. So I'm walking up and down city blocks in a major area in the south. I think I was around 21st and Chestnut, if anybody knows what that area is. And Walnut and Chestnut. I was around that area. And I'm walking around blocks and blocks, block over here. I said, I know the car around here somewhere. I was walking around for 30 minutes. Now, I don't know if God loves me because it seems to happen way too much when I'm hammered. I'm walking around. I lost my mother's car because I'm drunk. I can't find it. And I'm just going to keep walking around until I come across it, right? All of a sudden, while I'm walking down like the 7th or 8th block to look for the car, a car pulls up next to me and it's like, CJ! And I'm like, who the hell knows my name at 2:30 in the morning? Randomly. It was my daggone sister. Somehow she was just coming back from something she was doing in the entire city of Philly and drove up the one block. Do you understand? I'm walking full city blocks. What is the probability my sister at 2:30 a.m. when there's no cell phones would drive up on me and be like, CJ? And I was just like, Shell? I was like, oh my God, my sister. I was like, oh my God. I ran up to the car. I ran up to the car like a little kid. I was like, oh my God, Shelly. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was lost. I lost the car. I don't know where mommy's car is. Oh my God, you gotta help me. I'm crying like a little fool. And oh my God, mom. Oh my God, mom. You gotta help me. You gotta help me. And so she drives me around. Dude, do you know she drove up one block, made a turn, came down the next block, and guess what was sitting there? The daggone car. I was like, and mind you, I think I skipped that block because I didn't think it was there. And it was the one block that with the car. So I found the car. Finally, she takes me home. All is good. So that's story number 2 of me being white boy wasted. Episode 16, a PSA. Three. I am on number 3 of White Boy Wasted, a PSA episode number 16 from Cat Poop Crazy Carl. Let's go to down. So this is another one. My God, I'm so, but this is Jay, you inspired me to tell these stories. Who cares how bad I look? It's real, it's safe, and it needs to teach a lesson so people can make sure they don't make the same mistakes we make. And that's what life is all about. That's what maturity is all about. And you gotta put your demons out to be a real one. Let's go. So this next one right here is the last time I got super trashed in Philly and had an incident. I actually told myself I was going to quit drinking after this. So there was this club in Philly that was an after hours club. It was called the Palmer and whatnot. So you go to the normal clubs, you go to the places, and about 12:30, 1 o'clock, this place opened up. And they'd be open from like 1 to like 5 or 4 or something like that. So I went to the Palmer. You actually had to be like a member to get in. I went to the Palmer anyway, got in that junk, did my thing because we rep, and I got up in there because my peoples. But before I went into the club, I bought a bottle of what's called 2 Fingers Tequila. Never bought this before, but it cost $7 for a whole liter, and that's all the money I had. I was on a college dorm, right? I was on my broke after college type joint, right? I get the 2 Fingers Tequila, but I don't touch it while I drive. I'm like, hey, I ain't gonna drink no liquor while I drive. That's just, beer takes time, but I ain't gonna drink no liquor. So what I did was I drove all the way to the club, and this was on an empty stomach. PSA, never, ever, ever drink on an empty stomach. You hear me? You get some food, you get some water in there. Get something in your stomach when you drink, or you will have a bad time that night or the next day. So I'm on an empty stomach. I hadn't eaten since like the afternoon. But my logic was also, well, I'll get drunk easier because I didn't know this empty stomach issue. So I proceed to sit in my car and take 12 back-to-back shots of 2 Finger Tequila. So much so, the last one made me go, I was like, okay, that's it. I think I'm good now. Of course, I hop out the car, full Jay Williams, literally had to do a cut because I used bad language. So I was so daggone hammered when I got out the car. I was full Jay Williams, just how dry I am, right? Full super thug, full alka drunkie, full party animal, right? Hammered, 12 shots of 2 Finger Tequila in 20 minutes and almost vomited on the last shot. closed my door, locked the car because I was sitting in the parking lot doing this, stumbled my butt into the club. Again, I am no violent drinker. I don't get in fights. I don't get in argument. I don't get in stuff when I'm out. I don't care how hammered I am. I don't care if I don't remember it. No one has ever come back to me and said, Carl, you was on some. Nah, that ain't me. That's not what I do. I am a lover. I'm a lover, baby. I'm a lover when I'm drunk. I have fun when I'm drunk. I'm with the people when I'm drunk. Anyway, so I dance. I have a good night. I do my dancing thing. I dance till I'm sweaty. Okay, time to go home, right? Everything's pretty much fine, but I'm trashed. But I don't think it's so bad. I just think, oh, I'm trashed. I'm messed up. It's time to go home. I finally get my butt home, get in the bed, right? The next day, I slept for, that night, I got home at like 4. I slept until 7 or, I think I slept until 7 or 8 o'clock the next day. I slept for like 14 to 16 hours. I was asleep for so long, my mother came upstairs to check on me because she thought I was sick or dead. I was just that much. And then once I woke up, I threw up for the next 3 hours. I couldn't even drink water, bleh, soup, bleh, everything. I'm laying there, you know how you do, I'm never gonna drink again. I'm never gonna do this again. I'm never gonna, ooh, boss man, I'm never gonna drink nothing again. So, I finally felt better an hour or two later. And I got a phone call. Your family about to go to such and such and such. And I'm like, oh, fam, so you know, all right, I'll go, but I'm not drinking. I'm gonna go, but I'm not drinking. I'm gonna go, I'm not gonna drink. Cause I just got off, no, I'm telling you, I don't even wanna touch nothing. And then I got to the club, and everyone's sitting around partying. I'm just sitting there like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and have me a couple of beers. So I ended up drinking again about 2 or 3 beers. I didn't get hammered, but I did drink like 2 or 3 beers to get a buzz going that night. Jesus Christ. But I did get home safely. Luckily, once again, I don't know what it is. So that's part 3 of my stories. I got 3 more to tell, and then we're gonna shut it down. Let's go. Fo. What's Philly all about? Fo. How many championships you gonna win? Fo. Yeah, that's right. We on number 4 of this Capu Crazy number 16. White Boy Wasted, a PSA, inspired by Jay Williams. So let's check it out. So this next story is my first mistake in LA with drinking. Had fun, had party, but I never really got so crazy blasted I don't remember anything from it, right? We had a premiere at a movie. So I did acting, I do acting. We had a crew called Skit Bags. We were actually making legitimate films, legitimate movies. I'm on Tubi, I'm on Crackle, I'm on YouTube. I have been in the theaters. Check out The Clapper with Ed Helms. I'm a rabbit in that. Check out Office Uprising on Crackle. And there's some other stuff, man. I'm in about 7 or 8 movies. I'm also in something called, what is it called? The Deported, which is with my guy Mickey Gooch. And what's my homie's name? He's like a Jim Carrey guy. Anyway, it was an Adam Sandler film I was in as a homeless person. Anyway, and a couple other roles. A bunch of small roles. That's not the point. So we had a premiere for one of our own individually made ones that was about a rehab kind of clown thing my guys did. We did the premiere at the Egyptian Theater on Sunset Boulevard. It cost $40,000 for the business, for our business to do it. But the whole thing, and we even had a party set up across the street at the Playhouse. If anybody in LA knows what the Playhouse is. Yeah, so I had a premiere, we was the kings of the premiere, then we go across the street to the Playhouse to turn up to celebrate it, right? Get over there. Of course, I am white boy wasted. I mean, we are trash already from the first events, And then I took my butt out, and of course, I'm buying more drinks. Now, all of us had invited ladies to the event. People we didn't know. I invited a girl from my job that really liked this kind of stuff. Told her to come over. She came through, we were kicking, but of course we got so trashed, I actually lost her in the club. Now, one of my homeboys, who I now know is a snake, he was trying to put moves on her when my back was turned. And I had seen it a couple of times, but I was like, yo, that's my man. He would just, if he likes somebody I'm with, he would just tell me, right? Nah. He waited until my back was turned and he tried to snake her off to the side, and we all got drunk. So come to the end of the club, I can't find them, I can't find him. I'm hammered as crap, super duper slurring speech like, where you guys? I was slurring drunk. Okay, slurring, Jesus Christ, slurring drunk. So I finally tracked him back down at one of the major hotels on the Sunset Strip. We had rooms there. We were the kings of LA this night, right? We get back down the street. I finally catch up with them at the hotel, and my homeboy was playing some stuff, and I called him out. It's like, yo, you trying to put the move on the joint, And I basically called him out and put him on blast in front of all the homies. I wasn't playing that. You ain't gonna try to snake no broad for me. Be a real one, son. If you like her, tell me so I can be like, yo, I ain't even with her yet. Go ahead. If you into her like that, if you need it that bad, you know what I'm saying? So, boy tried to say me, I call him out. And while I was calling him out, because he's hammered too, drunk out of his mind, he smacks me in my face, like mugs the crap out of me, busts my lip. Of course, Philly dude, I spin back, I'm right back on it. Dog, this is like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Solange. We are in a 5-star hotel elevator, 8 deep, and me and my homeboy are fighting in the elevator. I got him in the joint. I'm doing the hockey joint where you can hold your head and do this joint. He kind of ducking because the minute I turned around, he just kind of ducked out. And I just was banging, but he's struggling trying to stop it. The rest of the people trying to pull us apart. Eventually, what happens? The elevator goes, boom, and the door opens. This is like 2 a.m, by the way. We spill out into the hallway of the hotel, talking Jay-Z, Beyonce, Solange. We're still fighting. We're slamming up against all the walls. Boom, boom, boom. We rocking the whole hotel, dog, just me and him, because I'm 6'4", he's 6'2". This is 2 big dudes getting it in. You know what I'm saying? So boom, 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 boom. They finally pull us apart. Security comes. Security actually banned me. So there's a particular 5-star in LA that I could never go to again. My name is on the list. And so is the homies. So we get to fighting. Mind you, the next day, we actually had the filming for another movie that I'm in. We did a film called Head Thieves, which is our own actual real personal film. The next day we had a filming for a scene I had with Andy Dick and a bunch of other guys and Rufio and all of them. And I show up at the shoot the next day, because at first me and homeboy was mad. I ain't messing with you no more. And then our homie is like, look, dude, we gotta shoot. You guys gotta squash that until we shoot. So my lip was busted, and then we squash it, whatever. And then we go to the joint. My homeboy is teasing me crazy. He's like, oh, look at your lip. Yo, he was teasing me for like 6 hours over this. Not the guy that hit me, but my other friend, because, you know, he's an instigator. Comedians. We're going to instigate. Something bad happens to you, we're going to laugh at you. That's what comedians do, right? So my lip is busted. The filming actually went good. Everything went great. The movie has not been sold yet. We actually pulled it down because I think we're still trying to sell it. But yeah, if you ever want to get banned from a 5-star hotel, yeah, get drunk and fight your homeboy in the elevator. So, yep, that's story number 4 right there. I actually thought of another story just now while I'm telling these others that I forgot to say. I'm going to add that in as 5, and then I'm going to do 2 more after this. Don't curse, dude. 5. So this is a random one I thought of that I forgot about, where once again, God, Gaia, the universe, the spaghetti monster, Beelzebub, I don't know if it's quantum entanglement, but somebody out there is looking out for your boy. This particular one was a night on Sunset where I went to an E-42 short concert. It only cost $10 to get in, so I had spent no money to get into this concert. The line was half long. I had the little special event thing, so it was cheap for me. So I get there, and then Too Short and E-40 do a full hour concert, right? 30 minutes for one, 30 minutes for the other. Of course, they do their song that they got together, all that, right? Little whistle time, right? So, cracking night. Of course, I pregame before we got there because I'm cheap and I want to save money on drinks because I know I will wild out and spend a couple hundred up in this junk, maybe even a stack if I'm doing too much. And I said, okay, cool. So I get ready before I go, get there, trash. Now, I wasn't driving also, so this was like safe travel. I wasn't driving this time. We just straight Ubers and buses and trains and all that to be safe, right? I've learned a little bit. So I'm blackout hammered, blackout drunk. My friend said, even though somehow I was blackout drunk, and I've got a habit of this, I'll be blackout drunk, and you know what I'll do before I leave the club? I will still go to the bar, sign out my card. No memory of doing it. But I'm like on autopilot. It's weird, right? So I'm going. Sign out my card. We leave the club 2, 3 in the morning. My friend said I was so drunk, it was like Weekend at Bernie's. He literally, like a zombie, said he just had to lead me everywhere. I was just like, over here, okay. Like he said, I actually fell into the street on Sunset and almost got hit by a car. It went, this is how crazy this night was, right? We finally get back to the crib from whatever our transportation was, but he had to go one way, like 10 blocks. I was going the other way, like 10 blocks. Basically, we got where we was gonna go to save money. We rode together and then we split up at a midpoint. He lets me go, he's like, yo, dude, you sure you're okay? Mind you, in my drunken state, I went to Popeyes and bought a 30-piece of chicken. I'm like, I'm gonna take this home and smash this whole 30-piece, son. White boy wasted, boy, I tell you, right? Oh my God, I was so messed up. So I'm coming home, I black out after I walk away from him. Next thing you know, I'm at the front door of my outside apartment, standing there. There is no chicken, and I am covered in blood. And I got serious cuts on my hands. I don't know what happened, but I made it home. I don't know if I got robbed, but I still had my phone, I still had my keys, I still had my wallet. I simply just lost the chicken. So I don't think anything, I think I just fell drunk or something, passed out or something. Again, don't do this, guys. Don't drink yourself into this kind of maze. Be responsible and whatnot. Literally covered in blood. Like I remembered, all right, let's go. And then the next memory I had was me at the door like, what? Oh my God, what happened? And he's gone. So I'm all alone. And then I go in the house and I lay down and mess up and I just tell him about it the next day. Guys, know your limits, be responsible, and make sure you're traveling with a friend who cares about you, because that's the only way I got home. Now, come to find out later, that person I was with is a daggone snake. So I'm starting to suspect there's a reason why I fell like that. I think he let it happen. So that's that. Oh my God, side note. This has actually happened before at a UCLA party. I was drinking from that thing called the ice luge. It's a block of ice. And we went to a college party when I first got here. And they were pouring vodka. Dude, I had never did an ice luge before. I was, and it was like a frat party where they had all these colors. It was like Diwali or something. They had all these colors at the frat party. Everybody wore white and they got all these colors on each other. Everybody was getting trashed at the dorm over at USC. College kids, dude. College kids. And I'm like a grown man. I'm getting trashed off this ice luge. My friends had to carry me from the party to the car to the apartment. They had to carry me all the way home. 3 of my friends. Dude, I'm like 220 pounds. I'm a big man. They said it was like lifting a piece of steel. They said you weighed so much. So the next day I had a couple like scars and bumps and bruises and dirt on me. I'm like, yo, what happened last night? I'm kind of sore. This, that, and that. My homeboy said, fam, yo, you real heavy when you drunk. Dude, you were like 800 pounds. Fam, we dropped you a couple of times by mistake. I was like, y'all dropped me. Jesus Christ, don't make your friends drop you guys. That's part 6 of this. I got 2 more and I'm out. White boy wasted. A PSA. Ooh, bah! Okay, so that's a quick simulation of me in this next story. Part 7 of Cat Poop Crazy, episode 16. White boy wasted, a PSA, inspired by Jay Williams. Outstanding. So this particular one happened 3 years ago, right before the pandemic. So I guess that's 4 years, because we're 2023, pandemic was over 2020, and it started in 2018. Dude, it's been almost 3 years since the pandemic. 2 years. Wow, right? It's been 4 years. Wow. Man, time flies when you're stuck in the house. I just thought about that. Anyway, this is right before 2018. I think this is the Christmas of 2018. This is when the scooters first came out big in LA. This is right before, because you know at the end of 2018, they didn't announce C19 until December, January, when, you know, China finally gave it up to, yeah, there's something kind of going weird out here. Yeah, right. Mind you, a bunch of people I knew actually got these really weird colds that almost killed some of them, and nobody knew why. We found out why a few months later, right? Didn't even know what it was. So this night, I'm healthy. I've always been healthy. Never had C19, by the way. I take my vitamin C, and no one loves me, so there's nobody here to get me sick. Yay, right? So anyway, I'm out once again, out at a rave, having a great time, went to the club, pre-drank before I got there, bought more drinks at the club, got white boy wasted again, right? So, like usual, I party, I dance, I don't get in no fights, don't get in no trouble, nothing crazy pops, nothing silly, ba ba ba. I get tired, club closes, time to go home, right? It was raining this night. And this is a PSA for people that ride those electric scooters. Do not get on that electric scooter drunk when the ground is wet. You will fall, you will get hurt. I've done it twice, and these last 2 stories are about those 2 times. Let's check it out. So I'm hammered, I'm riding home, and this is back when the scooters very first started. The scooters used to do about 20 to 24 miles an hour back then, but then a lot of people got hurt. So you guys may notice they're only 12 to 15 now, but back in 2018, 17, they were doing 20 to 25 miles an hour on those scooters. I was flying. So I'm coming home in a rave, bent, and my idea was stay off the main streets and just take the back streets home. That way I don't gotta worry about too much traffic, too much danger. Everything was going great for the first 19 minutes of the ride. I am 3 blocks from home. Another PSA, most accidents happen when you are less than a mile from home because you relax and you make bad decisions. I did this. So I was getting close to home. I'm drunk. I just wanted to get home with my drunk behind riding a scooter. And this is like one of the first and second times I really used the scooter. I wasn't experienced with it at all. So I am balling and just jumping. I'm having the best time of my life because it's so late at night. No cars are on this back street. Well, I get to the last stop sign and I'm like, man, ain't nobody been coming by this whole time. I'm just running this last one so I can just finally get home in a couple of blocks. I go to run this last stop sign on a back street. Guess who was thinking the same thing I was? A guy in a black, like Acura or something like that. We were basically about to meet. This guy would have killed me if he had, because he was coming full 20, 30, 40 miles an hour. I'm coming 25 miles an hour. If I didn't stop or challenge it, he would have killed me, right? So I see him running he ran the stop sign and I ran the stop sign. So I see him coming and I realize, oh my God, he's running the stop sign too. I go to try to like skid to a stop. It's so wet. The scooter goes, I go over the handlebars of it and I land on my chin on the ground and I broke my jaw. 2 days before I went home for Christmas. I was about to get on a plane in 2 days to go home and eat my mother's food, and I broke my jaw. Now, luckily, I fell directly onto the cement, so it wasn't like a bad break, but it was broken from the collision. It cracked this side. So I get up, I'm stunned, I'm probably concussed at this point. The scooter no longer works. I'm drunk, it's wet, so I'm wet and drunk with a broken jaw, and I had a big gash. I literally had blood dripping from my chin, like water. No bullshit. Blood dripping from my chin. I didn't even know my jaw was broken yet. I just knew my chin and my bell was rung, and I gotta get home. Do you know that when I got up and I was stumbling the last couple blocks, there was some Asian dude, like a college-looking Asian dude, 2:30 in the morning. He walks up to me while I'm stumbling, holding my chin, and he's like, hey, dude, do you know where such and such and such and such at? And I just looked at him like, dude, I just fell in the skin of this blood coming from my face. Get the frig away from me. I just, get away from me. Like, dude, I'm hurt. Look at you, see, I'm hurt, dude, I just fell. Dude, why are you asking me, right? Why am I the top questioner? So I blow him off. I'm angry. I go home, go to sleep. I eventually go to the doctor once I realize the pain. I found out my stuff is broken. I actually almost got robbed by the orthodontic doctor. So I go to get it fixed. My insurance, even though I paid all the time and had it for my job and picked the best one, my insurance did not cover the wiring or the drilling to like wire myself to be even. They wanted me to pay $5,000 cash dollars to them to do the work. I was like, and you know what they tried to tell me to get? They told me to get a J loan. Yeah, that's right, J-E-W. They told me to get a J loan. I said, yo, that's racist. Then they gave me a website. Then it was like jloan.com is the website. Look it up. You will be tripped out. JEWLOAN.com. Yes, it's a website and they actually have loans they give to people who don't have credit and stuff like that, like gangsters. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I'm not giving these guys $5,000, $6,000 and paying them for the next 4 or 5 years. I pay insurance for this. So I said, screw them. And I just took my butt back to Philly. I didn't even get it fixed. I just kept my mouth half closed and organized for like the next few weeks. It heals on its own, but it was off. So again, White Boy Wasted, episode 16. Do not get on those scooters drunk. When it's wet, you will die. We got one more, and it's actually related to this jaw breaking, and this just happened this New Year's, and I believe this is my final lesson in warning from God, the universe, and guided. Boy, if you don't stop this, you finna die. Who cares how nice you are? Who cares you don't be mean to people? Somebody is gonna kill you by mistake because you're drunk, boy. And I'm gonna tell you guys the final lesson I learned. And I think this is part 8. This is part 7 right here. We're gonna get into part 8. Captain Crazy Carl, episode 16. White Boy Wasted. A PSA. Inspired by Jay Williams. Number 8. Be the one. Eternity. Like the final part of Cat Poop Crazy 16 White Boy Wasted, a PSA inspired by Jay Williams. And this is my final story of all my drunken, terrible tirades and foolishness in the streets of Philly, LA, Virginia, Arizona. I don't have any Arizona stories. I have one. No, I don't have any Arizona stories, actually. I didn't wild out. I think one time, but nothing bad happened. I just don't remember driving home. That story's whack. Anyway, this final story literally just happened New Year's this year. Yeah, that's right, New Year's Eve. I almost died, guys. And guess what? I have no idea what happened. You hear that? You hear that? So, the first part of this PSA I want to tell you is never mix inebriants. If you smoke weed, just smoke weed. If you take those edibles, take edibles. You can mix, but only in lower amounts. But do not take 100 milligrams of edibles and then hit your weed pen and blow trees all night and then drink a bottle of tequila to yourself. Don't do that. Do not either just drink the bottle or take the 100 milligrams. Do not do both, because you know what it does? Just like when you take an allergy pill in a drink and it says don't drink when you take this medicine. Well, baby, if you take a whole lot of marijuana edibles, that is just like taking a hard medicine allergy pill. You mix that with alcohol, you are going to miss stuff. There are going to be dark spots. There are going to be blackouts. There are going to be blank spots in your memory, in your activity. Thank God I'm not a violent or a dangerous man. Could you imagine? I'd be in prison right now, just smashing some dude out because I'm in for life. You know what I'm saying? That real talk. Thank God I'm not a bad man and whatnot. So I'm out, New Year's, I'm looking swaggy. I'm swag. I got the shirt, the tie, the vest, the hot shoes. I got my trench coat. I got one of these kind of gangster looking hats on, folded up to the top, like on the top of my head. I got one of these gangster hats on. I was just, I was getting it. The honeys was on me, but I was trashed, right? Now, another thing is, if you're an attractive guy and you like to pick up women randomly, don't get super trashed when you go out. And if you're part of the LGBTQ community, same thing. If you want to meet somebody, don't get super trashed. Because number one, you're going to feel insecure talking to them because you're going to know you're hammered. I'm not going to talk to them while I'm drunk like this, right? I literally probably passed up on my wife 30 times because I was probably too drunk. Actually, I met a Miss America contest, pageant lady 3 months ago at an event. She was all in my face, bro. All in my face. And guess what? I was blasted drunk at the time. So I didn't finish the job and pull her in. I probably could be dating the next Miss America right now. Yeah. Matter of fact, I might get up in her DMs. I did get her IG. But that's a whole other thing. If you see me with a 6 foot beautiful sister one day, you know I hit her up. So anyway, trashed. I come out there looking good, but I didn't stay late. After midnight, I think I stayed till about 12:45 because I was, once again, blasted, blackout. I don't even remember the party in between me first getting there and doing midnight and celebrating and then getting a drink and the time in between that and when I decided to leave. So basically it was like midnight, party, video, text, call, text. I did all that stuff and then I don't remember anything for the next 40 minutes. And then all of a sudden I'm like, ugh, man, I'm hammered. I'm ready to go home. I'm old. I'm ready to go home. That's enough for the night. And I didn't live too far away because it was downtown and I lived downtown. So even though I told myself, Carl, it is raining, before I left, I said, Carl, it's raining. I called an Uber because I said, normally I would hop a scooter, but I said, dude, you're drunk. Don't get on a scooter in the water. You learned that lesson last time. But I said that when I left. I was so friggin' trashed when I came out of the club. All that smart, don't do this, Carl stuff, right out the window. I hopped my butt right on a scooter in the middle of a rainstorm pretty much and rode home. It's about a 30-minute ride on the scooter. This is a long ride on the scooter because the scooter only goes 12 miles an hour. Very slow, right? So I'm taking a 30-minute ride. I'm about 4 miles from home. I'm about 3-4 miles from home, technically, right? 2.5, 3 miles, 4 from home. But I'm sure I was hammering. I was taking a long way. It took me way longer than I needed to get home. Well, at some point during this ride, once again, left the club. I remember getting on the scooter. After I got on the scooter, nothing, dude. I don't remember nothing. But the only memory I have between me getting on that scooter and getting home approximately 30 to 40 minutes later is at some point during the ride, I smacked my face up against something. But I didn't remember what it was. I only remembered it when I got back home. I only remember, like, basically my brain turned on for 3 seconds when whatever happened, like, yo, you just hit something just hit you. And then my brain cut right back off afterwards. And I somehow unconsciously got on another scooter and rode home. Well, let me tell you guys, there's a reason I'm wearing this glove. If you can look at my thumb, it has a cut here. There was a deep gash to the bone at my thumb. The skin was completely ripped. It was gushing blood. And once again, I got home, cut off the scooter, I got in front of the door, blood on my hands, a little bit of blood on my shirt. But everything else on my body was clean. But my hand was hurt. And if you can tell, my thumb is swollen. You can see maybe bigger than the other. I don't know if you can tell from each side. And it doesn't bend all the way yet, even though it works. So I don't think it's broken, but I think it's sprained. I think I cut and hurt the muscle. Have no idea how it happened. I think whenever it happened to me, the scooter must have jammed me, messed up my thumb, right? Well, guys, I got home and my shoulder hurted a little bit, but I thought it was from dancing, because you know I like to dance when I'm trashed. So I like to dance, stupid, right? So I thought, oh, you just sore from dancing. Nah, the next day, I wake up. Mind you, my thumb is useless. I went to pick something up and dropped it all on the floor that night. My neighbors were probably like, what the hell is going on in there, right? So I get up the next day. My entire left body, shoulder, elbow, hip, knee, legs, my entire left side hurt for the next week. And that was and I had a small scuff on my cheek, which is gone now, but it was like scabbing and scuffing, like something scraped my face. And I was like, yo, fam, my thumb's been messed up for 2 weeks, severely bruised. I probably tore a tendon or something that's healing, that's gonna take time and therapy to heal from a severe sprain. I probably almost broke my finger. It may even have a hairline I don't know about yet. I'm trying to wait to see how bad it gets. Like I said, this just happened New Year's Eve, 2 weeks ago, right? So it took a week before the pain stopped. And that was last week. And now this week, this is all done and the thumb is healing. And you know what I did because I'm really good at critical thinking and thinking back. Guys, I think I got hit by a bus or a truck or a train because there was no dirt on my clothes. Almost like the same situation. I came into this, I think I skidded and stopped, and I think I banged up against the bus. And when everything hit the bus, I think the scooter twerked and cut my hand. Somehow, I walked right away from that, got on another scooter and came home. Guys, I could be maimed. I could be missing a body part. I could be horribly disfigured. I could be dead right now. Guys, Gaia, God, the universe, I don't know who you are, but thank you. Because you have given me my final lesson, and that is the end of episode 16. White Boy Wasted. PSA, guys, I want you to learn, learn, learn. Have your fun. Have your good time. If you drink or smoke, do it. It's okay. But please Don't mix too many things in high amounts. Don't get on those electric scooters wet at night, and learn your limits. Learn yourself. Pay attention and listen to other people like me and like the inspirer, Mr. J. Williams, about our stories so you don't become scumbag drunkards like we are. And that's what White Boy Wasted is all about. Lesson learned. I almost lost my finger. I almost lost this. You see this face? I almost lost this face. I almost lost this beautiful body that at 47 years old still has it. Because I wanted to drink and have fun and be stupid. Don't you do that. You learned this lesson. And you guys have a great night. Like, share, subscribe. Send it to people that you hate, because I'm sure I'm extremely annoying. And now that's Cat Poop Crazy Carl, episode 16. Inspired by J. Williams, a PSA. You guys have a great one. All right.